Tired, weary, frustrated? What would you be doing if you weren't raising children alone? What's stopping you from living your best life now? On SoloMoms Talk, I discuss with solo mothers the challenges you face raising children alone. So if you're a working solo mom dealing with independent children, insensitive bosses, weight and health issues, or even debt collectors, join us as we discover your path to get and stay healthy, increase your income, and live with joy and purpose.
In this battle of life, it's hard to keep your head above the water. So win this fight.
My guest today is Crystal Fedeli. Thanks for coming in talking to us on SoloMoms Talk, Crystal. I appreciate you.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Sure. First thing I always want to know is, who is Crystal Fedeli?
Yeah, so my name is Crystal Fedeli, and I am an alcohol recovery coach, and I help women reclaim their power over alcohol, go from alcohol wreaking havoc in their life to gaining total power over alcohol so they can finally be free to create a life that they love, one where they look forward to each and every day.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And how did you get into that? I mean, usually when someone chooses a career, it's as a result of something happening or something they saw. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so basically that is just my personal story. Alcohol used to wreak havoc in my life, professionally, socially, personally, my health, just everything. And I suffered for nearly a decade trying just the way we approach people who suffer from alcohol use disorder. Mm-hmm. And I just was never able to get better. And despite really, truly trying with my whole heart, just everything, truly trying. And but then I was finally able to find another way. And literally within 2 to 3 months, I just got better. It literally took only 2 to 3 months. So
okay, all right. So that's awesome. Now, I remember working with a guy once. He was a PhD studying addiction, right? Mm-hmm. And we had this big argument because I believe that anything can be cured. Mm-hmm. And it seems that the medical profession doesn't believe anything can be cured. Would you say you were cured of your love of alcohol, or would you, how do you view that?
Yes, I believe that I was. So when we talk about cured, I believe that we are, how do I describe this? We're getting into dangerous territory here. So I believe in God, and I believe that God designed us to be like a certain way. So for example, somebody who finds they have a hearing loss, right? Originally, their ear was designed to be in, everything's supposed to be in place. Everything's supposed to be the way it was supposed to be. And therefore they're able to hear, right? Like my really good friend who wears a hearing aid. But unfortunately, she was born with the inner working of her ear just not the way it was supposed to be. So, we have a device called like cochlear implants, is it? Or something?
Yeah,
like the
right.
implant in the ear. Mm-hmm. Excuse me for anybody who knows better than I when talking about this. But so it's kind of like her device that like helps her, right? Sorry, something happened on the screen. And so would I say that she's completely cured? Well, no, she's not completely cured, because that would be whatever, a miracle happening in the ear and everything's put into place. But she's in remission is what I would say. So now when it comes to alcohol use disorder, I would say that I'm more in remission, because the neurochemical disorder, it's not in order. My brain is still out of order. And so I just need, the help of what I use to keep me in remission. So does that make sense? Am I making sense?
It does make sense because it's something I don't particularly understand, and it's not because I haven't been around it. You know, I've had relatives who, you know, had succumbed to the effects of alcohol, and I personally don't understand how they do that because I've resisted it. So when I hear that there's no cure, that's telling me there's no hope for anyone.
Oh, well, that's not true. There's so much hope. Okay. We just have to kind of, like, I would say, you know, the Bible said, again, I'm a Christian, so I'm always referencing the Bible.
So am I. Keep going.
Awesome. You know, but it's Romans 8:32, I believe, that says, you know, if you know the truth will set you free. Now, the Passion Translation I like a lot better because the Passion Translation is, I know that it's like controversial, but the Passion Translation, but I think that it really kind of translates in a way that we understand as, what are we in the 21st century? Yeah, 21st century. I always mix the centuries up. You know, modern day people. So anyways, but it says, if you accept the truth, then you will be set free. So it's not just knowing the truth, it's accepting the truth. Now, I think these are the two hurdles that we really have to cross when it comes to understanding alcohol wreaking havoc in somebody's life. We have to know what the truth is, but then I've found that there's this second step of, you know, people actually accepting the truth. It's just so hard for people to accept it. And now you say that, you know, you have a hard time maybe understanding like why your family members, you know, are finding that alcohol wreaks havoc in their life because you've resisted it. I like to always liken it to like other medical conditions that we have better understanding of. So like, for example, somebody who has a prosthetic leg or something like that, right? We don't really understand personally how it is to be them, but we can see that they need a prosthetic leg to be able to walk on two legs like we can with our full intact, you know, legs or whatever. Well, somebody who finds that alcohol is wreaking havoc in their life and they're really not able to get a handle on it, they just need certain interventions that maybe we don't, because we don't have that medical condition. And so I'd be happy to like get more into the science, you know, behind it of what the heck I'm talking about. But does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yes, it does make sense. Thank you. I always, you know, I've had a few people come on here and talk about addiction, and we just kind of talk about addiction, you know, but we never really try to pull it apart a little bit. And I know it's controversial because we who believe in healing and cure, right?
Yes.
Whereas some people don't and feel, you know, this kind of stuff is beyond our control. And I just wanted to touch on that. I'm not, you know, I try not to be controversial on anything, but, you know, I have certain beliefs and I like to bring it out just in case somebody else does too, right?
Yeah, well, I believe in full healing too. Like, I believe in miracles. I haven't really seen one in my lifetime. I know people who have, and I pray for that power every day. Like, Jesus, I know you gave it to us. It says it right here in the Bible, but I don't have it. And I'm not going to blame other people around me like, oh, they don't have enough faith for it. No. Like, Jesus healed many people who didn't have the faith, and that's how they got it. It's the faith that is, because it happened to them. We don't have to get into that controversy, but I believe in the leg growing out. And until then, I believe in the prosthetic, helping that person walk, right? Am I going to deny them that because, oh no, it should have been, the leg should have grown out when I prayed and it didn't, so no prosthetic for you. No, that's silly.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
You know, it's the same with alcohol use disorder. Yes, I would love for somebody to truly just have the cravings and obsessive thoughts just go away by a miracle. Would love that to happen. Or just be able to have a drink or two and truly be able to put it down and not even realize it, instead of like, I need more, right? Or to truly just be like, I don't have a desire for it. I would love for that to just happen through miracle. And until that's able to happen for every single person, for the people who are not, we have other interventions, just like a prosthetic leg, right? We have other interventions, right?
Okay. All right. Sure. Thank you. All right. So let's get into your story. How how did it happen for you? Did you have some kind of trauma? And if you did, tell us about it and tell us the journey from Chrystal, newborn, and, everything seems to be normal until you needed, I'm going to say this and I say it with love, you needed a crutch to get through life. Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So disclaimer before I start sharing. So there's this deep-seated belief that somebody who has alcohol wreak havoc in their life, that the root cause is because of a trauma or because of mental health disorder. I completely disagree with that. I think the research data and statistics really just show us that that's false. Now, I'm not saying that never happens for anybody. And it might sound like I'm always talking about research. It's because one of my grad degrees is in research and analysis. So I'm just very research heavy. But, and so what I'll say is that in every research study, there's always outliers. So there's always going to be the outlier of where the root cause was because of mental health or, like a trauma that happened, right? The difference for me, and this is where this is the very important part, right? Is that, a trauma or mental health disorder may cause somebody to pick up a drink to self-medicate. My whole point is that that's all well and good. I don't care why somebody picks up a drink. My whole point is when somebody has a neurochemical disorder, a disorder of the neurochemistry in one's body, one's brain, which the brain isn't just here, it's all over in our body, is disordered, right? And so they can't stop. They can't put the drink down even if they wanted to, right? Because they have a physical addiction to alcohol. That's the difference. So somebody who doesn't have alcohol use disorder, for which the cause is a neurochemical disorder, right? They can put that down if they want to. They won't get the physical cravings, the obsessive thoughts, all that kind of stuff. That's not who I'm talking about. That's behavioral. That's a very small subsection of the population. I'm talking about the large majority of the population who literally can't put the alcohol down. They can't stop over drinking, and they can't not drink for long periods of time or forever. That's who I'm talking about. So I just want to kind of qualify that before I say what I'm about to say. Because I did have a traumatic childhood. I did have trauma. And I think it kind of made me even more a victim of our treatment system because of that. It was like a ding against my record almost, because then everybody's like, oh, she has trauma. Good. That is the root cause of her alcohol issues. And we need to, solve that trauma and mental health disorder, and then the alcohol use disorder is going to get better. Well, after 10 years of literally miserably failing time and time again with consequences to my professional life, my personal life, my relationships, like all that kind of stuff, I think it's actually torture to put someone through that. And there's a ton of people I know who have never had a trauma. Their family loves them. They support them. And they find themselves physically addicted to alcohol, right? And then what I'll say is once I was able to, find the intervention that I use now, in 2 to 3 months, I got better. And then after that, my mental health healing skyrocketed because I was finally not physically addicted to alcohol, and I was myself, and I was able to concentrate on the mental health stuff, and it just skyrocketed. And I wasn't re-traumatizing myself over and over and over again, because when you drink too much, you put yourself in situations that re-traumatize yourself. How alcohol, it's a toxin, right? So it just kind of knocks the hormones and everything out of whack, and that makes you feel terrible. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of qualify that. But yes, I had a very crummy childhood. It wasn't even good for a while. It was right when I was conceived. My one parent didn't want me to come to be Crystal Fedeli, a fully birthed human. They wanted me aborted. So I'm told. So, and it was just nothing but trauma from the beginning, really. There's a lot of trauma that happened in my childhood. And I was eventually removed from custody. I was a recipient of Child Protective Services in the state I live in the United States. And then in my 20s, I just allowed myself to be re-victimized over and over again by men. And I really had no family whatsoever in my 20s until I got pregnant with my daughter at 27, which I really don't know how it didn't happen until I was 27. I should have had multiple kids by that time. But irregardless, I found myself pregnant with my daughter, and her father basically was like, if you want to go forward with your pregnancy, you'll be on your own. And so I went forward with my pregnancy, obviously. And I was on my own. And now I'm married with 2 children. But it was, it was pretty hard. But she was the first person that I could ever love and that unconditionally loved me. And right after I had her really is when I found this new way of treatment that I use and that I got better in 2 to 3 months with, and that now I use in large part to help all of my clients finally reclaim their power over alcohol. And now I'm good. Now I'm better. So
okay, all right, thanks. I don't want to go back into the discussion we just have because you answered the question in a way that I think is satisfying. But what role does your faith play, or did your faith play in you being able to control your consumption of alcohol?
I wouldn't say
if I phrase that correctly, forgive me if I'm not using the right terms.
No. It's okay. It's just a conversation,
Okay.
So I would say my faith is paramount in everything, in my life, for me personally. My faith, Jesus is who I go to first and foremost for everything. And then Jesus determines how Jesus wants that answer carried out, And so...
Yes.
And so I believe that my faith gave me the strength to keep going and to keep searching and to just persevere, to find, what the answer was, which is, my whole thing. It's totally anti the system. It was such a hard ordeal, even gaining access to this treatment. But I believe, my faith is what just kept me, throughout everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So what is Crystal grateful for today?
I'm grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to be sharing my story, instead of living in it still. The story's still going, right? But it's post-alcohol wreaking havoc in my life, and if it hopefully doesn't come up again, but if it does, I know what to do, right? I know exactly what tools I have. I know the research. I know the solutions, and I'm free. I have this knowledge for the rest of my life, Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So, how can we get in touch with you? Tell us what you do and what you could do for us, our audience, mainly SoloMoms. So tell us.
Yeah. So basically, I'm an alcohol recovery coach, and I have my signature program, How to Reclaim Your Power Over Alcohol, 90 Days to Gain Total Power Over Alcohol. So that's my program. And really in this program, what we do is we learn all the different paths of treatment, because the system is going to tell you that there's one way and one way only, abstinence. And normally it's through sheer willpower if you cannot control your alcohol consumption. First of all, it has a 99% failure rate. There's a reason why you're not able to be successful. You're not a part of the 1%. I'm a part of the 1% in spite, right, of that. And then second, we really kind of discover what your goals are with alcohol, not anybody else's goals. What are your goals with alcohol? We really get clear on that. And then we just, create your own treatment plan, and we connect you with everything you need to achieve your goals with alcohol that fully align with your goals with alcohol. And I help my ladies do that in 90 days. And I have a free gift for everybody in your audience. If you go over to www.crystalfedeli.com/3 ways to reclaim your power over alcohol. And that's the number 3. Mm-hmm. I have a gift for you, 3 ways to reclaim your power over alcohol. And of course, if you wanted to book a call to see if we are the perfect fit to help you reclaim your power over alcohol, there's buttons all over my website. You can do that. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We put those links in the show notes. And ladies, get on over there. Even if you don't have issues with this topic, maybe you know somebody who does. Okay. So before I let you go, give us...
Yes.
I want you to give us one piece of advice to a solo mom. Give a solo mom a piece of advice. If she's really struggling with staying away, right? I want to put it that way because it's something I've experienced in that I know how to stay away, but there might be someone who don't know how to stay away, or help me stay away. Okay. And then a general one, because you related your story that led up to you having a daughter. And I also want you to give us a piece of advice for that time when you're really, really struggling.
Yeah, well, reach out for help. Reach out for help from somebody who is going to be in your corner, that is going to be like, listen, I might be the expert in all the different ways to treatment, but you're the expert on you, and you know what you want, and you know whether you want to stay away from alcohol or whether you want to truly be able to moderate your drinking. And, I'm just here to support you in whatever goal you have. So find that person. It's really hard. That's why I started my whole thing, my whole program, right? Because I have my whole community. I know all the doctors, the therapists who will support either goal and truly give you the tools that you're truly going to be able to do it, because everybody else is just going to tell you just have to moderate through sheer willpower. So I would just really just don't take no for an answer and keep going. And I'm always here if you want to DM me, right? Or if you want to download the free resource, but just keep going and don't take no for an answer. Nobody has control of your life. You have control of your life. And when somebody tries to take control of your life, you say, no, I'm sorry, it's my life. And I'm going to keep going until I find what I want. So.
Okay. Thank you. Get help. Get support. You're not alone, right?
And make sure it's the right support. Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crystal Fedeli, International Alcohol Recovery Coach. I appreciate you coming and talking to us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was such a lovely conversation.
Sure. Any parting shots?
Shots. That's funny.
Yeah.
No, just thank you for having me, and ladies for listening to me. It was just my honor to be here. So
thank you. And I'm sorry, I don't drink, so I forgot about it. No pun.
No, it was funny. It was a good pun. It was good.
I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for listening. Are you still setting New Year's resolutions only to ditch it halfway through January? Or are you struggling to keep up with life because it seems you've lost control? Sign up for Successful Goal Setting Strategies for Solo Moms and let me walk you through setting up a plan for your life based on your birthdays. Join the waitlist below and put a plan in place so you can have joy in the middle of life's chaos. Remember, you're not alone and you don't have to parent in silence.